Welcome to the Port to Port podcast with Ronan.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Port to Port podcast. Today we're diving into the world of Padel. It's one of the fastest growing sports out there at the moment, and who better to join us than Raya from Raya Padel. She's making waves in the Padel community at the moment, sharing her journey, tips and experiences. Raya, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You too, thanks for coming on. How are you getting on today?
I'm well, thanks. I've just had a paddle lesson, so I'm quite tired, but overall very good Sunday.
You're definitely as addicted to paddle as I am, I think.
Yeah, maybe more addicted.
You probably are. Like, how often do you play paddle kind of per week?
Probably like 5 or 6 times a week.
And for how many hours at a time?
I try to play usually an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. So
Okay. Oh yeah,
yeah.
no, that's yeah. Like when I first started, I played for an hour, and by the end of the first hour, you're kind of only just kind of getting into it. You're enjoying it, and you're just like, oh, that's not enough time. So we started a 2-hour session once a week now, where we play on a Friday evening. We do a 1-hour session on a Sunday that we've been doing for the last year, but that's just with like the same gang of guys, and like some of them have kids, so sometimes it's harder for them to do 2 hours. So, but like it's nice just to get a game in every Sunday morning as well. So I suppose starting off, for those people who are listening who might not be familiar, give us an introduction to paddle. How does it differ from tennis and squash?
So I used to play tennis when I was younger, and I'd say it's very intense. Like paddle, you can play with people who aren't necessarily amazing and you can get a good game, or you can play with people who are really good and you can still get something out of it. Whereas I feel like with tennis, it's quite hard to play with someone if you're not the same level, and you kind of have to be like, if you're not very good, you have to play with someone who's not very good, but then you're hardly hitting the ball, and the whole hour kind of goes with you chasing around the court, just hitting like 10, 15 balls. But with paddle, you can actually get into the game. And I think I struggled a little bit to start with the wall. It's like I've never played squash and I've only ever played tennis, and I feel like I'm always taking the ball, like doing a half volley, trying to not let it hit the wall. So now I've realised that the wall is actually quite helpful. So I started using it more, which I wish I did to begin with. But if I was to give advice to anyone, is definitely use the wall. It is there to help you. It's not there to scare you off or anything.
Yeah, definitely. Like because I played tennis as well when I was younger, and that's how I kind of got into paddle as well. I played tennis for probably 15 years when I was a kid, and kind of through school and stuff. And then I kind of took a break, and I got back into paddle by playing. I played in Spain for the first time, and then it opened up. It's like where the paddle center is here is like a 10-minute drive from my house, so it's so close. And they started, like, I think they're over a year and a bit now, and since they started, that's when I started. But a lot of the guys that I play with are all ex-tennis players, or still current tennis players. So what we find is when we're playing, we're all at the baseline. There's nobody moving to the. So like I do play, like I play with a girl from Chile, and she's like Maka is her name. She plays a lot over here now, and she's like, anytime I play with her and her partner Javi that I play against, he's from Spain, so the two of them are like, the second they hit, they're moving and they're in at the net, and you're just like, oh my god, this is totally different to. So it just all depends, as you said, it depends on who you're playing with. But it is a lot more intense than tennis. Like I enjoyed playing tennis, but I think paddle is way better. I just love playing it.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. Like, I never used to enjoy playing tennis, and it was such a chore. And now I'm like going out of my way to book paddle lessons where I'm like sweating buckets at the end of it, but I really enjoy it. Whereas every time I had a tennis lesson, I would literally dread it and be like, oh my God, can I cancel this? Like,
Yeah, like towards the end of my time playing tennis, I just kind of started getting bored of it, and I played a lot of doubles, and I won a couple of doubles tournaments, and I got into the final of a couple of doubles tournaments, and I was like a level 3 in tennis, which isn't too bad, because we'd gotten to finals and we'd won some finals as well. But whenever I played singles, I hated playing singles. It's a totally different beast. But even I haven't really played singles in paddle yet. I know there is a new courts after opening up here in Ireland that have single courts as well. and I'm actually playing
Yeah.
down there. I'm playing there next week, so I want to try out the single courts just to see what they're like. Because I don't really care as long as I can get a game of paddle in, and I suppose it's better if you've got, even if you can't get a load of people, if you even get, if you got one person just to get a game in, I'd be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. I think the problem with singles is the angles are very different, which is what I don't really like on the singles court. Like I would rather play singles paddle on a doubles court and just
Okay,
play
yeah.
cross court with the partner, because the way the singles court is made, the angle for the serve is very different. So I mean, if you are just hitting it down the line and just having a hit or practicing volleys, I think it's fine. But if you're actually doing it in terms of you're gonna then move your game into doubles, then I think you're gonna struggle a little bit. But
Oh,
obviously, like to have a knockabout it is obviously really fun and
yeah.
better than nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the way I look at it as well. I'm just like, if I, because it's sometimes it's hard if people are busy and you're just like, I just want a game, but then like there's I think I'm in like 4 or 5 different WhatsApp groups for paddle, and to be fair, you'll always find somebody, but you're
Yeah.
like, I once you get to know people, you kind of want to play with the same people because you know if you're going to get a good game. I'd be a class as a 2.5. But I play with a lot of
Mm.
fellas who are like threes to fours, and we always
Yeah.
end up having really good sessions. And like we played a game there recently, and like as you said earlier, like we were sweating buckets by the end of it, and that's what you want. You
Yeah.
want an enjoyable game where there's lots of rallies. But
Mm.
then somebody had asked me to join in with their group as because they were short, but they were only level ones, and sometimes going to
Yeah.
a level one, you're not going to get, like, it's still good, but you're not going to get the same intensity because they're kind of only
Mm.
learning the kind of, but so I kind of try and stick to my own levels or higher if I can.
Oh, higher, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've tried playing in some like higher. So I play at the David Lloyd, and they have leveled sessions, like social sessions, and I play in the intermediate. And I'd say like I'm not bottom of the group. I'm kind of like midway, but I really want to play in the advanced group. Just because it's going to be better people, but I don't want people to start complaining and be like, "Oh, she's not good enough for this group. She shouldn't be in this group." Like, I don't want to ruin their game, because I know when I play with people who are like worse than me, so to speak, I'm kind of like, oh, I'm not getting the best out of this session.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, like I think there is a lot of people like that, and like even when we look for subs for our games, we have to be like, we need somebody who's at least 3 to 4.
Mm.
Don't say that you're a 3 if you're only playing 1.5 to 2, because it totally changes the dynamic of the game.
Yeah,
If you're playing with like somebody who's a level 2 and you're all the rest are 3 and 4s, it makes it a slightly bit uneven kind of a game. You want everybody to
yeah,
be kind of at the same level.
yeah,
So
exactly.
so in relation to like, how did you first get into paddle? Like, what drew you into the sport? For like, obviously you played tennis, but like, what drew you into paddle? We'll say.
So I played tennis for like 10, 12 years, and then I stopped, and I hadn't played a racket sport in ages. And my doubles partner from tennis said to me like, "Oh, why don't you try paddle?" And I remember thinking like, what a horrible sport. Why would anyone want to play that? It's so loud. It looks awful. Like, no. So anyway, played one set with him, and my timing was so off, and I was like, "Oh, I hate this, I hate this." And he was like, "No, please just carry on playing. Like, go to sessions, you improve. I promise your timing's gonna get better." I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I started playing, continued playing, and since then I think I haven't stopped playing. I don't think there's been a week where I haven't played paddle, and that was last year in June.
Okay, so you've been playing it kind of the last 7, 8 months kind of thing. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Um,
that's a lot
so
of
yeah, that's
paddle.
kind of
So
what got me into it. Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
paddle.
so yeah, like that's pretty much what happened to me. I played in Spain maybe twice. It's on a holiday, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually quite good. And then
Yeah.
when I came back to Ireland, I realized that they were after opening a paddle center like 10 minutes down the road, and I was like, okay, let's go and check it out. So we went and
Yeah.
we checked it out, and I started getting more and more people involved, like that I kind of grew up with, and I played tennis with, and we all started getting more and more people in. And like
Yeah.
anytime I'm talking to somebody, it's either I'm either talking about travel or I'm talking about paddle, so it's one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the good thing is like with tennis, when you're having a bad day, you're going to have a bad day the whole time. Whereas with paddle, you can hit a few bad shots and then your next shot could be amazing. And then your confidence is like immediately sky high. And then you play really well. And like, I don't know, for me, that's kind of the best thing about it, because with tennis, I just used to get so put down by the fact that I wasn't playing well. And the whole hour would just be me like hitting in the net, hitting it out, miss hitting it. But with paddle, I'm just like, there to have fun basically, and it's just really fun.
Yeah, you know, it is a fun game, to be fair. It's very, very enjoyable. Like, at what point did you decide to start your Instagram, the Raya dot paddle? Then at what point did that kind of kick in, and what was your goal with it, we'll say?
So obviously I have like my main my personal Instagram account, and I was posting loads on there, and I thought like constantly about paddle, and I thought these people don't follow me to see paddle related stuff, like they're probably sick of it. So I was like, oh, why don't I start an Instagram, seeing as I'm posting so much about it. I thought I'd like take people on my journey with me, because I was literally just starting up, and I started my Instagram end of October, so literally only a couple of months ago. And it started growing really quickly, and like the more it grows, the more I want to post and like engage with people, and like you meet loads of new people and they're like, oh, do you want to play? And it's just like, it's a big community, and I'm actually really glad I started it. Like I didn't really have a goal to begin with for the Instagram. I was just kind of starting it to post my journey. But now I'm obviously like wanting to get some brand deals. I was, well, the main idea was for me to start actually getting good at paddle, and I wanted to get into the GB team, but obviously I've only been playing for like 6 or 7 months, so I've got a long way to go. But I've been training quite hard, so yeah, I'm just seeing how it goes, really taking it day by day.
And is there, like, how many paddle courts are there in the UK at the moment?
210 to be specific.
Okay. Yeah. So like, I think already like there's a lot. I think there's a lot more for you guys over there than like in Ireland at the moment. We've got 8 courts in Cork where I am. There's eight
Yeah.
courts in Limerick. I think there's maybe 6 up in Dublin, 6 to 8 again in Dublin. So that's
Yeah.
pretty. And there is like private ones in hotels and stuff, so open to the public. There's probably less than 20,
Yeah.
maybe at max 20. So we're only kind of getting
Mm.
it into it now in the last like year and a half. It's starting to kind of take off here. So obviously I think the UK is kind of a lot more ahead of us in relation to probably tournaments and getting onto other kind of teams and point systems and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, it's very fast growing.
Yeah, no, yeah, like that's literally leading into my next question. It's growing massively worldwide. What do you think is driving its popularity?
I think it's very social. I'm not really sure where the boom kind of came in. Um, I would say it's very fun. It's very entry level, which is what I think is drawing people into it, because I've never played squash, but I know with tennis, you need technique. It's very hard to actually get a game in if you can't play tennis. And also the tennis court, like tennis clubs in London, you have to be a member of to play at the tennis court, apart from obviously like the parks, where I wouldn't say the courts are in the best condition. So if you're not part of a club, you can't really play tennis. Whereas with paddle, I think the good thing is you can literally just, you don't have to be a member or anything. You can literally just book a court, pay and play. Like, it's very, it welcomes people in, and it's a lot easier, it's a lot more accessible than tennis is. And obviously in terms of like being able to play, like you literally just pick up a racket and play, whereas tennis, you kind of, I'd say you need a coach, or you need some tips at least from somebody who knows what they're doing. Whereas paddle, you could literally just have your friend just say to you, do this, do that, and then hopefully the ball goes over the net, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's a lot easier to take up than tennis. That's
Yeah.
definitely, like, I brought people from my work who I'd always spoken about paddle to and stuff like that, and like I brought 3 of them. Like, 2 of them were from Brazil, so like like they were really interested in playing it. I wanted to try it, and obviously for me, like that was kind of a game where I was like, right, I know this is only going to be a knockaround just to try and get
Yeah.
them into it, but like they loved it. The 3 of them loved it when they went down. Like, I suppose they enjoyed the vibe of the place, because again, like you were saying there, our place isn't members only. It's you book and you play. Anyone can go there.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it really important, because like I was a member of a tennis club where you had to know somebody to get in, and you had your membership fees, and then you were paying for your tournaments and all the rest of it. But I like the fact that you can just pay to play in Padel. It just
Yeah.
makes it so much easier.
It is so much easier. And like obviously I'm a member of the David Lloyd now, which is exclusive courts for members, but I normally play at Rocket Paddle in Ilford, and they've got loads of courts there. And it is literally just pay to play, so anyone can literally go and play. So it is really good.
Yeah, no, that like so that was what I was going to say. Like, how many paddle courts so roughly would be in and around? So like you're in London, right?
Yeah, I live in London.
So like, is the majority of them in London, or are they kind of all spread around the whole of the UK, or is like obviously being like London being the capital, do they have more than anywhere else?
I think so. Like they have quite a few in Surrey. Southwest London, they have a few. Battersea. Where I live isn't really like London. It's kind of like the outskirts of London. But central London, I think the only one would be Battersea. Padiham in Canary Wharf. Let me just think. Yeah, I think majority, because you kind of need, if you want more courts, you kind of need a bigger space. So it's harder to get those ones in central London. But I have heard some works in that there are going to be courts, like rooftop courts on the skyscrapers in London.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, no, Battersea is like the most central one that I know so far.
Okay, and like how many courts do they have? Like, because like here we've got the most indoor courts that we've got in Ireland, I think, is 8.
Mm. Is that like the centre of Ireland?
Yeah, that's in Limerick. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I'd say Battersea has 4 courts,
Okay.
but Ilford has, I think it's like, there's 4 indoors, 5, so 5 outdoors, 4 indoors. So 9, and then there's singles ones.
All right. Okay. And have you played paddle outside?
Well, they're outdoors, but like have a roof on top of them, if you know what I mean.
Ah, okay, yeah, because like where we are now, where we play is they've got the 4 inside, they've got the 4 outside, but they're outside. There's no roof. I think they're hoping to
Oh,
put,
yeah.
yeah, they're hoping to put a roof on them at some point, but I think it does put a lot of people off, in the sense that like if it's gonna rain, people aren't gonna play out there. Like, we've played there the day after it rained, and like the ball didn't bounce. It was like, it took a lot of time to get used to it when we went out, especially after playing inside for like a year.
Mm,
But I think people are starting to kind of get to play more. But for me, like, I played tennis outside for so long that I'm just like, I kind of over that. I'm past it. I want to kind of be inside and enjoy.
mm,
Like, I just think it's not like now. I think where they're playing, where we play paddle, it wasn't designed for paddle, so like the roof isn't very high, so that's a
mm-mm.
bonus about being outside, because you can launch the ball up high if you want to launch it. um but so like the middle court that we play on would probably have the highest depth if you do want to put up a lob. But again, you could play on another court the following day, try the exact same thing, and it won't work because the roof is down a bit lower. So that's kind of the
Mm.
only kind of annoying thing sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I have played on outdoor courts, and as you said, like I feel like the courts are so saturated from when it's been raining, and then the ball gets wet of instantly as soon as you hit a rally of like 5 shots, the ball is soggy. And then the walls as well, I feel like they get steamy very quickly. And
Yeah.
then the ball kind of just like drops as soon as it hits the wall. It's really weird.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no, that's what we kind of found as well when we started playing. We haven't done it. We haven't done it outside much though, because it's
yeah.
like, like if it's dry, not a bother. But if it's rained, the balls are, as I said, the balls are soaking, and then you've got like a couple of times we've hit it at the back of the court. It's hit the wall, and whatever way it's dropping, you're not even going to be able to get to try and rebound it or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's not for me, or a couple of my friends either. I suppose as this is a travel podcast, as well, I want to kind of talk to you about your travels. I know you were skiing recently as well. Like, how was that? Where do you usually ski, and like, how'd you get into that?
So I've been skiing since I was 8, and we used to ski in Switzerland. So I did my ski school there. And then when I turned 16, I obviously finished my ski school, and then we started going to a few different places. So the last 2 years we've been to Val d'Isère in France, which was nice. I enjoy it. I feel like it's more of an après place, but also the slopes are really nice. They're very like beginner friendly, I would say. Like obviously I learned to ski and I can ski on like reds and blacks, but it's not very enjoyable. Like I would prefer to ski on a blue personally.
Okay.
But I know some people like going off piste and stuff. But yeah, Val d'Isère, I think because the town is higher up as well, there's always snow, which is what I really like. And then obviously there's snow on the slopes because it's even higher. But yeah, no, I think Val d'Isère is my favourite out of all of them. I think we're going to venture somewhere else next year, but we haven't decided where. But so far, Val d'Isère is my favourite.
Okay, and is it always skiing, or do you do like sun holidays or city breaks or anything like that?
Yeah, I do a few city breaks. We do like a summer holiday. We're going to America this year, for a wedding, but then we're gonna do 2 weeks, so travel around a little bit as well. But yeah, no, I went to Madrid for the Hexagon Cup, which was the paddle.
Yeah, I'd seen that.
For
Yeah.
a weekend. Yeah, that was amazing. I love Madrid. I think that is probably my favorite city.
Oh, really? Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, I've not been to Barcelona. I've heard good things, but I think I'm going to try and go there for the Premier Finals. I think they're in Barcelona. Um, so yeah, no, that will be good. But I'll try and do more weekend trips, like city breaks this year, because I've got like limited holiday days from work. Some people would be surprised to know that I actually do have a full-time job apart that is not paddle. So those days are quite limited, so I have to use them wisely. So city breaks are a great option to get out of the country, basically.
Yeah, 100. I think everybody thinks I don't work either, but I have a full-time job as well. But even the guys in
Yeah.
work don't think I work either, because anytime they're looking at my Instagram, I'm away. Or like last year I had like 5 different holidays, so they were like, "Were you even working?" But I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked a bit."
Yeah, I promise I do have a job.
Yeah, it's just like I don't like going in too much, but it pays
Yeah.
the bills and allows me to cruise, so it's all right.
Yeah.
I suppose like where's your favorite destination that you've ever been out of any place that you've been so far?
Probably Peru.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was amazing. That was actually a school trip, when I was younger, and we went there for 3 weeks, and we did some volunteering. We basically built bathrooms for the families of this like community school in Cusco. Which was really nice, and it was like a very rewarding experience. But we got to see Machu Picchu as well, which was
Oh,
amazing.
that's amazing.
And we had fantastic weather, which was absolutely brilliant because you can actually see, whereas some days it's very foggy and you literally can't see anything. So we got great weather. And then I got to swim in Lake Titicaca, which
Oh, no,
is
oh,
the
that's
highest.
good.
Yeah, yeah, that was amazing. I think, yeah, it was a great experience overall. And I'm really glad I did it. The climate there is a bit strange and it takes a while to get used to. But yeah, I mean, because we were there for so long, I think we kind of just got used to it very quickly.
That's a very fancy school break.
I know. Some would say.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I think when I was in school, you'd be lucky if you got to a farm like an hour down the road or something like that.
Mm, yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, like
Yeah, no.
I like South America is amazing, and I've been to Brazil, I've been to Argentina, and I've been to Uruguay. But I do want to go back, and I want to kind of go to Chile, and I'd like to see Peru, and I want to kind of see as many places as I can. On the travels, you were saying you're going to America this year. Is it your first time going there?
Yeah, I've never been to America before. So I think we're gonna fly to Toronto in Canada, and then we're gonna go to New York, and then from there we're gonna go to Montana, which is
Oh,
where the wedding
nice.
is. Yeah. But we'll stop off in places like in between each place. But yeah, haven't done an itinerary for that yet. But if you've
Okay,
got
yeah.
any recommendations, send them my way.
Yeah, like I've like one of my first big trips was going to America. Like I was in America when I was 10. That was the very first holiday I ever went on because I have family in North Carolina. But
Mm.
when I was like 22, 23, me and my friend we flew to North Carolina, and then we Amtraked from North Carolina up to Washington DC. It was like a 9 hour train journey. We were ready to kill each other by the end of it.
Oh wow.
And then we went to Philadelphia for a few days. We went to New York for a few days. Then we went up to Boston for a few days. And then we flew back down to North Carolina then again for another few days. And then a couple of years later, me and my other friend, we carried kind of that on. So we started in New York, but we went up to Toronto and we did Niagara Falls. And we like, there's loads of stuff. The East Coast is like, there's literally so much stuff to do. So if you're going to Toronto, like, I think it's within 2 hours drive and you're at the Canadian border between the states, and you can go to Niagara Falls as well and stuff
Yeah.
if you have time, like, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that is on our itinerary. That would be amazing to see.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, like, because you see pictures of it, but when you actually see it up close, and we did the Maid of the Mist tour as well, and you're like right under it, it's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Really? Yeah, no, it looks really cool on the pictures, but I imagine it's cool, even cooler in person.
Yeah, no, it's like they give you like a waterproof jacket to kind of put over all your stuff because they
Yeah.
practically drive into it, and you're soaked by the end of it. So
Oh my gosh.
just be prepared for that if you do it. Have you played paddle in any other country, or is it just the UK so far?
No, just the UK so far. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's like it. I think Sweden is after taking off a lot, and I think with a lot of footballers now as well are starting to kind of catch on to the fact that this has become such a big popular sport because like you've Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he's opened up his own paddle kind of courts all around Sweden. Ronaldo's investing.
Yeah.
Zidane is involved, so there's loads of people now are kind of getting involved as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I've seen all of that to be fair.
It's crazy.
I'm, I mean, I kind of want to do a paddle camp in Spain. I was thinking of going to Diagonal in Madrid, which will be good. I think it's like a week intense course. So obviously that would help improve my game quite a lot. But I need to find the days off work to actually do that. So that is next to my list.
Work always gets in the way.
Yeah, literally.
So I suppose for beginners looking to get into paddle, what's your best advice?
I would say find your nearest club if they offer classes, like social classes, that are specified for like beginners. I'd say join them and just keep playing and don't get disheartened if you're not very good. I don't think you necessarily need lessons to begin with. Literally just pick up a racket though. So the courts that you book will probably give rental rackets that you can rent there. So you don't need to buy a racket to begin with. Obviously, if you want to, then you can. But I would rent a racket and join as many classes as you can because that's literally what I did. I know I had prior racket sport experience from before, so it wasn't like it's easier said than done kind of thing. But I think just keep playing, keep going to the sessions, and then you'll make loads of friends there. And then once you've made your friends, you can kind of book courts outside of the sessions and like practice with them separately. But like before you've made those friends, you can't really do that. So the classes are like a really good starting point, I would say.
Okay, no, that's cool. And I suppose in relation to like gear, equipment, what would you say? Do you have any favorite brands or equipment that you'd use?
So my favorite trainers, and they've always saved me, are Asics. I've tried other trainers before, and I just get blisters, or my feet hurt, like the bottom of my feet. So Asics are my trusty trainers. But obviously, they don't do rackets. So like if I do sign with a brand, I would have to wear their trainers, which is what I'm dreading because I'd have to give up my Asics trainers. But yeah, Asics for trainers. Clothing, I kind of wear different things. I've got into like Abercrombie and like Hollister recently. They have like really nice stuff. And it's not branded, which is good. Like, they don't have massive logos, which I don't really like on some brands. I really like Lululemon. Their materials are really nice. And the stuff just sits really nicely when you put it on. Yeah, really, that's it. It's kind of like not your classic paddle brands. Like, obviously, Abercrombie and Hollister and Lululemon, they don't really do like paddle clothes necessarily.
Yeah.
But I've adapted.
No, that's
So
good. That's good. That's good.
yeah, I've turned them into paddle clothes.
It's I suppose it's like whatever you're most comfortable. Like with me, if I'm playing, everything is Adidas, so it's like, but I have to be comfortable in it if I'm playing. Like, with you and your shoes, I prefer the shoes that I wear as well. Like, you have to be comfortable. You don't want to be, as you were saying, getting blisters all over your feet as well. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So I think shoes are the most important thing. That is another thing I'd say to beginners. Invest in a very good pair of shoes. Like, don't be playing with running trainers or anything like that, because your ankles are just not supported at all. So it is very important to have a good pair of trainers. So
yeah, like I learned that the hard way when I was playing tennis. One time I didn't have tennis shoes and I rolled my ankle and I tore the ligaments in my ankle, so I was out of action for 6 months. The pain and the hearing the tear happen, I've never felt the pain like it. It was insane.
yeah, it is awful, honestly. So yeah, that is honestly one of my tips. Proper shoes are definitely needed.
100%. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. I suppose in relation to your Instagram, it has a great mix of educational, fun, motivational content. How do you decide kind of what to share each day and things like that?
I wouldn't. Do you know what? I wouldn't say necessarily have like a set plan of what I post. I kind of just go with the flow. Like, I like updating people with what I do like during the day. My motivational ones kind of came from, like, I would say, I don't know. Like, when I read motivational stuff on my Instagram, I kind of like, it makes me happy. So I thought, oh, people might want to see that on my paddle account. And then recently started doing like the daily quiz, which I find really interesting because obviously I'm learning alongside it as well. Like, some of the answers to these questions I didn't know myself. And it's nice to see that people are actually engaging with it. Like, I was worried that people wouldn't be interested, but I've got actually quite high engagement on it, which is very, very good for me. And then like the fun content, which I really enjoy making. Like, I'm a big critique of myself, so the fun content is very easy for me to make. And I think people enjoy fun content more than they enjoy just watching you just hit the ball really well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get, like, I think a lot of people, like, because I did that a lot with my photography when I first started, like, my Instagram page a long time ago with travel and photography, but I needed to start getting more engaged with the people who follow me, and that kind of helped as well. I do think trying to put stuff up that like getting people's attention more definitely kind of draws them in a bit more as well.
Yeah.
So what's been the most kind of rewarding part of building your online kind of paddle community, I suppose?
I'd say it's like meeting new people. So when I first started, obviously I didn't really know anyone in the paddle world, and now I'm getting messages from people from all around the world. Asking me questions about paddle, saying like that they're coming to the UK soon, like, would you want to play a game, organizing stuff like that. Like, I'm a very sociable person. I like talking to people, so when they message me, it's like a very warming feeling that people like actually care, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I enjoy, it's like, it's a big community and everyone enjoys the same thing, so I feel like we all have something in common, which is paddle. And it all brings us together. So I kind of want to start doing more like events, running paddle events. So I've got my first one on the 9th of March, which is a girls only event. I'm collabing with one of my friends, who's got like an Instagram account, and she does kind of like tennis events, golf events, like all kind of, and it's all very women driven. And I don't think there is enough women in paddle, so I thought this would be a very good idea. and tickets actually sold out within half an hour. So I was very happy.
Yeah, that's good. It's very good.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have to put another one on because we've got quite a few people on the wait list. So there was a lot of interest for that, which I was very, very excited about. So yeah, and then obviously when I do that event, I'll get to meet loads of those girls, and then hopefully we can start playing more paddle together. I think it's important to get more girls into the sport. I feel like some are a bit more like worried about coming and playing because it's quite male dominant currently. But I mean, I play with mostly men all the time, so I don't kind of feel that. But for them, obviously, I do understand. And I just want to get more girls into it and show them that it is fun and like it's not scary. And they're not going to hit the ball at you really hard because like they're respectful. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, like when I started, there was a lot of guys out there, but it's slowly kind of having. There's probably more women playing out at our place now than men. Like it's.
I really.
100%. Like the amount of people, like I see text messages coming in like every day, and there's like loads of girls. Looking for like there's a lot of level like 4 girls out there that are playing. Like there's a lot of girls. I like when I play on a Sunday morning, I usually go out early just to have a warm up if there's a court free. And one of the girls who works there, Emily, she's like a level 3 to 4 or something like that, and like we would have a one-on-one warm up. Like last week we did like a 10-minute warm up. We were both dead by the end of it because we were just going hell for leather at it. But like there's loads of girls who have like taken paddle up at that court, which is really good to see because it was male dominated out there for quite a long time, but it's kind of switched and there's a lot of girls now after joining now as well.
Oh wow, that's really cool that there isn't enough girls where I play, so you can send them my way.
Okay, yeah, we'll all go to London for a game sometime.
Yeah.
Like I try and get over to London maybe once a year because I like it's only like 50-minute flight. So I'll definitely try and come over for a game at some point. The next time I'm there, because I'd like to kind of see like everywhere I go now. I'm like I need to see the facilities. I need to see what it's like in other places and stuff like that.
Yeah, the only reason you visit a place is to see the paddle.
Yeah, like I was in Morocco in November, and I was like, I need to go and see the paddle. Because I'd looked it up, and I didn't go in because where it was like it would have taken me like an hour to get there, and I was like, I can't. But like I was so invested, I was like, right, I need to see it. But in the end, I didn't. But like it's just so cool to see all these other countries now are starting to take off with it as well. It's amazing.
Yeah, honestly, it is amazing. I'm very excited.
Yeah, like I think the future for paddles it's massive. Like it's gonna go like everywhere, and anyone that I know now talks about paddle, and I think it's gonna take off like everywhere, and a lot more people are getting involved. There's a lot of older people getting involved. It's like I think I read somewhere that like if you're playing a racket like sport, that like it helps your brain development and it helps with all that kind of stuff like in later ages and things like that.
Yeah. What was it? I heard it. It heard if you play racket sports for a certain amount of time, you live this many years, like a certain amount of years longer. So
I'll see if it works.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. So I suppose finally, where can people follow you and stay updated on your journey?
So on my Instagram, which is raya.paddle, I've also got a TikTok page, and I've got a link tree, which is in my bio on my Instagram. So yeah. And I'm going to be starting to do loads of like collabs with different brands and stuff. So I'm sure people will see me around on social media.
Amazing. Raya, it's been fantastic talking to you. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm sure at some point we'll have a game of paddle, either if you're in Ireland or if I'm in London. We'll definitely try and meet up for a game at some point.
Yes, 100%. Do let me know if you're ever here, and I'll let you know.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Raya.
Thank you so much.